My name is Kevin O'Brien. I am a Jesuit of the East Coast of the United States. I currently serve as an administrator and teacher at Fairfield University in Connecticut. And this week I spoke on the topic of resistances in a group setting. So when discussing resistances, it's important to understand that resistances are natural. It just happens in interactions between human beings, especially in a group setting, so that we should not be nervous or afraid of resistance. In fact, resistance has something to teach us, something that we can learn when we experience resistance. And the last thing is we don't have to be nervous when we encounter or feel resistance, because each of us has developed skills in dealing with resistance just in living day to day. So if you're a parent, you've dealt with resistance. If you're a teacher, like I, in a classroom, I've dealt with resistance in a classroom setting. And frankly, if we're honest with ourselves, we each know as human beings what it is to feel resistance to certain things in our lives. So we're not to be afraid. So I think in my experience working with groups, I've learned that there are certain types of resistance that emerge most commonly in a group setting. So for instance, there are people who like to talk a lot or lecture, sort of teach the rest of the group stuff or ramble about topics. And those are ways of getting the group off track or ways of resisting where the group is going. Sometimes people resist in the exact opposite way by being very silent, sometimes in a defensive posture, not saying anything, not contributing at all. Sometimes we have people who like to challenge a lot, who like to contest the rules or resist the authority in the group. And sometimes we deal with that kind of resistance. Sometimes we have people who like to make jokes a lot and to always be the fun person in a group. That too can be a kind of resistance. And what's happening, in a sense, with any of those people in a group, they're really often about the same thing. They may be seeking to assert their own agenda, sort of to change the topic and to promote their own agenda. Or more commonly, they just might be nervous about where the group may lead. They don't know what to do with their nervousness. So they may talk a lot because they fear change, or they don't like uncertainty. Or frankly, like me, I like control. I like knowing where we're going. And sometimes I can become anxious and resist in different ways. So there are different ways or different reasons why people resist. And sometimes we do this not consciously at all. We're not aware we're doing that. That's why it's so human. So very important for us in any group setting not to judge, not to put people into good or bad categories. No, this is just what human beings do. And so as we notice resistance and deal with it, we can, there's an opportunity actually to reframe the resistance, or to once we notice resistance, to move the group to another direction. And the first thing to do is, if you're leading a group or just a part of it, is to, once you notice something happening, a resistance emerging, is to name it and to say, I think something's happening. There might be some resistance here. And the group can sort of discern whether that resistance is healthy or not for the objective of the group. So for instance, there might be someone in a group who acts like an historian, who always speaks about the idealized past, and in a sense trying to hold the group maybe from making change. That type of resistance is not going to be very helpful, because it's tying the group or the organization to one moment in the past. On the other hand, someone like that can be very helpful in grounding the group in a shared history. So you can move the historian to a more healthy or beneficial role for the group. The person who talks a lot, the facilitator can help the person focus and maybe provide some very helpful information. The silent one in the group, with some gentle encouragement, that person who probably is a very good listener, may have something, a perspective to share that others may have missed for the group. And what about the jokester, the humorous person? That actually can be very helpful when it's not used a lot as a defensive posture. But the person who has a good sense of humor can lighten the group up so that it's not too serious. When things get very heavy, it can help lighten the group up and retain a sense of joy in what they're doing. So again, we can reframe resistance when we see it happening. So when you see resistance, first of all, notice it, name it, discern it, see whether it's a resistance that's going to be helpful or not, and then help move the group forward to another, to the next question, or to get them back on track. Some resistance can be helpful for us because sometimes we might want to change too quickly, and resistance can hold us back to be more thoughtful. On the other hand, we don't want to resist so much that we're stuck in one place. So you can see how resistance can go both ways. Again, not to be nervous about it, not to fear it, to learn from it, to discern it for the good of the group and what we're trying to accomplish. So I've learned a lot about resistance just by being in groups and learning and listening to others, and I hope you will too. Thank you.